thank you for tuning into another episode of Leaders Lane. Today, I'm joined by Lil McAvaney. She's the inspiring founder of 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐿, the Australian-made beauty brand redefining self-tanning and skincare with clean, conscious formulas. After losing her dad to a brain aneurysm at just 12, she's been navigating hormonal migraines as well in her teens, and then she decided to turn her pain into purpose. Her journey sparked the creation of 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐿. And today, from best-selling glow drops, where a bottle sells every 3 minutes globally, which is mind-blowing, to a cult favorite natural deodorant that sold out 4 times in the past year, Lil is more than a beauty brand. She's creating a movement. So today we're going to find out how she's built her brand so you can use her tips and wisdom to grow yours. So Lil, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited and grateful to be here.
I'm so impressed with your brand, especially because you're a young founder. And I think there's so many incredible women now, especially with social media being available, and all these incredible entrepreneurs are just rising and creating these really cool new products. But I'd like you to take me back to the moment where you were like, oh, I think I want to start 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐿. How did that come about?
Of course. So it was around 2018, and obviously I did have a history where my dad passed away when I was 12 from a brain aneurysm. And I think that was just like a massive, obviously, trigger for me. And I had so many questions. And why is it, environmental? And it just kind of changes your perspective to look at things a little bit differently, I suppose, because it does instill an anxiety and fear in you, and you are like almost in safety mode. You just want to do anything you can to protect yourself and everyone else around you that it won't happen to them as well. And I think that was quite scary for me because alongside of that, I was having migraines since I was 3, which were linked to hormones. But, at the time, obviously, they were like, we need to get her in for scans and ensure that that's not what's going on. And yeah, as I said, it was linked to hormone imbalance, and I'd had that forever. And what I wasn't aware of was like all these hormone disruptors that are in pretty much every product that I was putting on my skin. And I just think there was like a lack of education around how our skin is our biggest pore. It literally drinks and absorbs every single thing we put onto it into our body, potentially bloodstream as well. So that was like a really huge thing for me was, oh my gosh, I'm using these products every single day. Yeah, they're working because they're filled with silicons and pegs and all these crazy things that have, not much education around them and what they can do. And even fragrances. Like I was saying to someone the other day, that's a loophole for 3,000 chemicals just in the one ingredient. And that was super confronting for me. I was like, this has got to change. And at the time, the market was extremely different. Brands that were marketing as natural weren't, because the regulations weren't as tight, and it was very easy to say, we've put aloe vera in it, it's natural, and then still include like all these other crazy ingredients. But there was also this other side of me where I felt like, it was very like fast fashion, fast skincare. There was so much on the market. I was buying so much as well because I just like, oh, maybe this will work. Maybe this will work. And I was like, why don't we just like fully cut back, simplify the solutions, make them clean? They're not going to disrupt your hormones or, yeah, even like allergies, think eczema. So yeah, there were a few drivers behind it. Obviously, my dad passing away, migraines, but a saturated market which was kind of selling the wrong things. So yeah.
I love that you saw that it was a saturated market and you didn't go saturated, I can't do anything, or what am I going to bring to the table? You were just like, yeah, it's saturated and I can create something that's better. Because
Yeah.
I find that like with a lot of entrepreneurs, that first question is like, look at the market, look at what's in the market, where are you positioning yourself and that sort of a thing. And some people find that a bit of a, not turn off's not the right word, but it sort of makes them second guess whether what they want to create is worthwhile. So I love that you just went ahead with it. Tell me a little bit, what was the initial process like? Did you have any experience in like brand
Yeah,
development or anything like that?
None. I do definitely get hyper focused, so I educate myself very quickly on a topic that I'm very interested in, and obviously that was summer skin. So I really just did a lot of background research. I was working with a girlfriend on it at the time, and we just put our heads together and started to formulate. But back then, even manufacturers were a bit natural, no, just keep the synthetics, just keep in the harsh preservatives. And at the time we were making the skin repair oil and the complete hydrator, and the skin repairing oil was 100% natural. And I feel like they were just you're crazy. We're not going to do this. And that was kind of a hurdle in itself, because I think now manufacturers are quite accessible and you can definitely get your foot in a lot of doors, and natural wasn't really, I guess, and even eco-conscious, it wasn't a focus for a lot of people back then, especially major manufacturers or brands. So that was a hurdle in itself, kind of being bring our vision to life. By the way, no chemicals that are super dangerous are allowed. So it was challenging, and it took probably a year, which felt like a really long time, and that was just for the formulas themselves. And then obviously bring packaging into play, and you very quickly learn that takes a long time too. It's a lot of trial and error.
Yeah, awesome. So you were backed by a lot of self-belief, it sounds like. And what did the people around you think about what you wanted to do? Were they supportive, or did you sort of have a mixed bag?
I think I'm really lucky because my family are always amazing at all my crazy ideas. So I felt extremely supported. My friends were really excited because I think they believed in it too. When you believe in something so strongly, naturally everyone around you quickly adapts. And I think that also links back to what you were saying with the saturated market. I have a girlfriend who wants to start a business, and she was like, I think this is a saturated market, what I'm launching into. And I was like, yeah, but what are you selling? Are you selling a brand? Are you selling a movement? Are you selling, it really does come back down to what's behind the brand. And I think that's how you break through.
I love that, particularly because I do a lot of work with brand messaging for different companies and personal brands. I'm curious, what's your take on the difference when it's a movement and when it's a brand?
I think when it is a movement, your community are naturally really involved and educated, and they feel heard. And what you're saying is resonating. You're not just spilling out generic messaging that everyone else is using. Or I think as well, when you are small, you do often look to those bigger brands, and they are very commercial and the messaging is very broad. But I don't necessarily think that's the way to do it as a smaller brand, because your passion doesn't come through those statements. So I think, yeah, a movement is really just involving the community, being transparent as well, and making them feel, involved and heard, and asking for feedback. It's really just rallying people with you.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I've noticed as well, is there is this sense of people are wanting to connect with the people behind the brands. They want to be involved in the journey. They want to have a say. And I feel like from what I've seen, particularly on social media, especially around product-led brands, those communities and those products that have that rallying behind them is because they've involved everyone along the way in some capacity. And I think we're living at a time where people want that. They want that genuine human connection. They don't want to just be sold at, products. They want to really feel like what they're investing in is something quality and healthy for them, but also then contributes to having better products on the market.
Yeah, totally. And I think that also connects back with, because I am so passionate and I do use it, I'm always showing me using the product. And if I'm using it every day, it really does build that level of trust. It's gaining their trust as well.
So talk me through the formula development process. What did you start with, and then how did you expand?
I think particularly we started with the skin repair oil and the complete hydrator. And as I said, I think they took about a year to do. And the complete hydrator was probably a little bit harder to navigate because some of these products do need a preservative in them. There's no getting around that. And that's not because we want to put it in there. It's actually for the health of the consumer. So we always have to do that if it's going to be otherwise at risk to them. So that was hard to navigate because I was always like, can we just find one a little bit cleaner, just a little bit cleaner? You really feel like you're just, I guess, pushing for it all the time because you got to remember that they're a business on the other side. So they're doing what's easiest for them. So I do think a good tip in when you are manufacturing products is to really just pull it apart and don't just settle because you're like, oh, they've sent me back this and this is what it is. You can do the research yourself and you can find your own solutions. And yeah, I think that's important to say. But our next product we released was our natural deodorant. And yeah, this was absolutely the hardest I have ever formulated. Me and Georgia were testing it at the time, and I'm going to say like it took us a year or more because at the time natural deodorants had all this misconception. They didn't work, you'll smell if you use them, and a lot of them didn't have the application that we do, which is direct to underarm. A lot of them were tins or pots, but there was only probably 2 major competitors at the time, and we really didn't have a reference product because we were making one to fix our own problem. We didn't have a natural deodorant we liked or used. Mm-hmm. So we formulated that. We were back and forth. We were testing it in hot conditions, cold conditions, and it was just amazing to see how well it was received. It's still our bestseller. I was saying to someone the other day, for the last 6 months, we haven't been able to advertise it or post it on social media because we can't keep it in stock, which is the most amazing problem to have. But it's also this product that I want so many people to have and it to be so accessible because it is seriously life-changing for a lot of people that have, they could be going through treatment or be cancer survivors, people with hormone imbalance, it's changed their lives, or even people that previously had to get, Botox in their armpits to stop sweating. And now they're like, oh, I'm using a natural deodorant and it works. So that was our third product. And yeah, it's very loved. Our next was our glow drops. And I think this just came back to me being a mum and being a business owner and being really busy and being like, my face looks like I haven't slept in 2 weeks because I probably hadn't. And yeah, they're our face tan glow drops, which we made with 100% natural DHA. And yeah, they're definitely one of our top sellers. They just go in and out for all the mums that need them. And then our Express Self Tan Foam, which I was like, we'll never be able to do this. It's too hard. Like, I think I even told the community, we're never doing a tan. But that was very community driven, that product, which I love. That came from them being like, we want this, we need this. And I got to the point where I'm like, buckle up, sis. You're just going to have to do it. And we did, and that has just been an amazing addition to our range because it's such a no-brainer. It works with our branding. We've got a system. You can use the skin repair oil and hydrator with the glow drops, the tan on your body. Then you can revert back to the hydrator and skin repair on your skin for aftercare. So it's really just been so cohesive and really easy to market, I guess, because it is such a beautiful product. It's removed a lot of stigma around quite heavy-based fake tans because we have removed a lot of those chemical elements that don't need to be in there. So that's been great. And we also have our lip repair oil. And again, that kind of just sells itself. We can't market that too heavy always because it's a bit in and out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the manufacturing, look, it absolutely has had its hiccups. And as you can see me trying to navigate stock as well, it's still challenging. And I was saying yesterday, I'm like, I don't think this will ever go away, these problems. I think they just find a different way to show up. But that's just a part of it all, really.
What are you like as your natural personality when you are presented with challenges like this, like whether it's, not having enough stock or there being a hiccup in, getting your orders and things like that? What's your natural way to respond to those?
Just fix it. It. I'm like, very much get it done, fix it, find a solution. I think as well, sometimes you don't have time to even be upset or stop or think, what if? I never am like, I should have. I'm always like, just fix it. When a product's out of stock, I'm just like, work with what we've got, navigate our way around it. I think that's actually probably one of my strong points looking back. I'm just a fix it.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like, you know how like one, if you don't have the time, sometimes you can't get too upset about something because you're like, I've just got to fix this and get on with it. But it also sounds like it means that you're not bringing too much emotion to it. You're seeing the situation for what it is, and then you're moving forward the best way that you can.
Yeah.
That said, have you had any moments where you're like, I just can't do this, and like second guessed whether you should keep going?
I think probably in earlier years. And I think that just comes with like experience and time and navigating the challenges. And every year that you survive and get by, you just have a stronger sense of confidence. And you also have these massive successful moments that are just like pinch me moments. And you're like, look back. That is just one thing I don't do enough. I never look back. And I'm like, I should be doing that daily. But, sometimes you wait for a problem to occur and you're like, I've survived through that, I'll get through this. But I do, in saying that, think that comes with time and success, but it's just, you literally just have to keep believing. Like you have no other choice, right? You're just like, I've got to keep going. Yeah.
For sure. And it must be nice having like a community by your side, sort of championing you along the way too, especially when they've like created a product through you.
Yes, totally. And we see that and like we feel that even with our deodorant that was out of stock. We posted restock this week, and it was just like, I was like, oh my God, to all the orders. Like people were coming through and buying like 8, 12. And I was just like, oh my, it's just like, these are my people. Like it's the best feeling.
Yeah, I know myself too. Is like when I find something that I love, and when I buy multiples of it, that shows how much you love that brand, no matter
Yeah.
what it is in any area. It's like a good indication that you're doing something well as the founder.
Yeah, it's a really nice feeling. We pre-packed the girls downstairs some single deodorants, like because they're like, it's back, it'll be so busy. We printed out all the labels. They're like, there's no single deodorants. Like they tried to use their initiative, and they're like, oh, good, everyone's buying like a million.
Yeah.
But it's just that reinforcement that you are doing the right thing, you're on the right track. It can definitely feel like silence sometimes when you are going through moments that feel really challenging and you're navigating your way out of them. So it's moments like those where you're like, absorb this 10 times more to even it all out. But it's a really nice feeling.
For our listeners, let's just say there's someone who's thinking about starting a new brand, a product-led brand. What would you say is like the best place to start before they start developing based on your experience?
I would like, honestly, the first thing I'd be doing is the community. Like I'd be on Instagram, I'd be building that before you've even got the product. I'd be testing that the demand's there. I'd be building it with them. If I had my time again, I'd be like, what do you want to see in it? Like really leverage that audience because, and I'm not saying, you're going to jump to 5,000 followers in the first month, but you also find micro in every form of business, whether it's, influencer or marketing or community. It's so effective because they're so invested and they feel really heard. So I would be starting the Instagram, I'd be starting the Facebook group, I'd be trying to get people on the journey with you. I just think that is an amazing thing to do, which we didn't really have the option to do back then because community on Instagram wasn't a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing how quickly all those things change and the, I guess, potential that comes with having these new levels of social media as well. I think it just gives people an opportunity no matter where they're at, whether they've got a budget or they don't have a budget, or if they're just testing something out. It's like, it's almost like if you've got a phone, then you really have an opportunity to just have a go.
Honestly, and even like looking back, like TikTok now, like you could literally take a whole blind audience on this journey with you. And I think even when we do products now, like we go back to our community and we're like, hey, if we were to release this product, what kind of packaging do you want it in? it actually saves a lot of problems down the road as well, because you've given them the packaging they want. If they like, if it was a product, fragrance or no fragrance. Like, I think it's just such a huge opportunity, and people love the content. They love BTS. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what if there's someone listening who has a brand and they're looking to scale? Do you have any tips on that element of growing a business?
I do. I think, and this is the worst thing you can ever say to a business owner, but patience, which I'm so guilty of being like, of comparing. Don't compare yourself to other brands ever. You'll just be sad. You just need to focus on your inner circle, what you're doing, show up, be consistent. And I, yeah, I think there's just so much opportunity in front of you at all of being a business owner, whether that's, really small business or really large. It's just finding them and looking for them. I think, like I said earlier, working with micro, like an affiliate-based program, that's a community in itself, because yes, you're obviously sending them product, but they're sharing it with people. They're sharing their affiliate code. I think that's like a really good stepping stone for a small business, is to introduce that, but also patience and connect with other business owners. I think that is just like one of the things I overlooked the most in so many years of business. And now this year I have like some beautiful friends, other female founders, that we're on a similar scale, and we just bounce ideas. We might not talk for a week, and I'll message like, what do you think about this? Or my meta ads are doing this.
Mm.
I think that is, yeah, people are really happy to help, and they're really happy to share insights. I think just don't let yourself have those fear-based thoughts of, I'm annoying someone, or yeah, I think that's huge. And also a mentor. I love having a business mentor.
How do you go about finding your mentor?
Question. Actually knew him in Adelaide.
Yeah.
And he's worked with some great, 𝐬𝐿𝐫𝐸, he's worked with some great brands like LSKD and ORTC. And where I find it where your downfall is, I feel like, again, I was very like impatient with scaling digital marketing, because I didn't know as much as I needed to know about the algorithms and how it responds. And he's just been amazing to pull me up and be like, this is what's happening. He's helped me learn all the skills myself, so I can have everything in-house as well. Like, I think that's been huge for our business, just to do as much as you can yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm going rambling, but you've snowballed me.
No,
I'm
I
like,
think it's really interesting. Like myself, I'm fascinated in hearing your journey of how you do things in your business, and I'm sure that anyone listening is probably enthralled by what you're saying too, because like you said, every business owner's journey is different, and whether you've got a product-based business or a service-based business, like I feel like different ideas can come from listening to different people. So I love
totally.
what you're saying. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. I just think, yeah, the mentor things really worked, and I found him because I knew him. But also, a lot of business owners do mentoring as well. I think it's just, you just got to look, and you'll be able to find one. Just make sure you can connect with them. Like, don't obviously overcommit if you can't. But yeah, I do really want to just reinforce how transformative it's been for me to bring a lot of the stuff as a small business owner that I was told to outsource. You get all this advice saying you need to have other people doing all this stuff for you to be successful. And I just really don't believe that's always the way, because since I have taken on a lot more responsibility, I've always wanted to, I just needed to learn how to do it. We've seen a lot more success, and I wish that's something I wish I knew as a small business owner in the early days, is that you can go learn it, you can do it, you'll be able to, and you will be probably a lot better off as well. You're in more control.
Yeah, I find that really fascinating actually, because I guess I've probably more often than not heard, outsource everything.
Mm,
And as someone that I think, I like to have certain things done a certain way, and, there's a level of quality when I put things out that I want to
mm,
experience. And I think when you have your own business or your own project, whatever it is, like you care about it. So you want it to be delivered, like all the touch points done really well. So
mm.
outsourcing can sort of bring that fear to business owners as well, because they're like, oh, this is going to be done properly.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and I know that's like a major thing, but when you get to a certain level, you can't always do everything yourself, right? But I think what I love about what you're saying is you can learn and choose the things that you want to be doing. And if you want to give
Correct.
things to a team member or outsource them, then you can. But I think having the knowledge of how something is done just
Hmm.
like sort of sets the bar. Like if someone comes in and tries to tell you, oh no, it takes this time, you're like,
Yeah.
I was doing this before, it doesn't, you know?
Literally, or even reading reports and you're like, well, I know we can change that. And agree with what you said, like long term, obviously, I won't always be in a position to do absolutely everything. But it's like you said, knowing that I have the knowledge to navigate the systems or jump in. If someone's away, I can change that myself, and make really timely decisions. And as you said as well, it's important to have support, with people that are helping and working in ways that might break up those roles for you and help with content or help with this. But yeah, it really is just having that found knowledge across all levels of what's going on, or you can lose grip of results very quickly.
Yeah. How do you navigate all of this while also being a mum? Because I think
Yeah.
anyone that has a business and is a mother, because I'm not, but I think you guys are absolute champions because I think about what I have to do in business and I have time. Like that's a luxury
Mm,
I have because I don't have children. But
mm.
I know being a parent, you don't necessarily have that luxury all the time. So you do it.
I'm still working this out. So if you can ask me again in a few years, maybe. I think it's hard as well. My kids are 3 and 5. That's a very engaging age where they do want you front and present, and it can be really hard to switch off. And you do have things top of mind. And I often feel like I'm running to my laptop as soon as they fall asleep, or I'm just quickly pushing something through. I'll be with you in a minute. And it's a really hard challenge for me. And when I get asked this question, I don't always have the answer because it's something that I am working out. So I'll come back with it. But I do try and break it up a little bit, be more aware, self-aware of, because you can kind of just go like V line, like you're just looking straight at it and you become completely unaware about everything that's happening around you. So I just try and break up those moments now, leave my laptop at work some nights or in another room, put my phone completely away when I'm talking with them or playing with them. But it's an ongoing challenge of mum guilt and partner guilt and business guilt. It's like having 3 plants you're trying to water, but you've got one watering can, and you're like, so yeah, it's challenging. And I'll let you know when I work out my system, because I also feel at the point that I am in business, it's a season, right? I am hustling because that's where I need to be right now. Right now isn't a time for me to be hiring people to do all these roles. I am like right now here to do it myself. And I just remind myself that's temporary and it's for them. And, this time next year, I might have all these amazing employees that are doing all these duties for me that I said I'd never let go of, but have to. Because that's the other thing as well. Like you said, it's hard to let go of responsibility sometimes as well.
Yeah, totally. I love the analogy that you gave
Just
with the 3 plants and the watering can. I think I will remember that forever. It's so good.
all I could think of was I'm like trying to help everyone, but there's not enough watering cans.
No, I absolutely love it. So, tell me what's the grand vision if you have one? Like, do you have
Mm.
where to go next with Summer Skin?
So I think we've been like not isolated, that's the wrong word. We've been online, which now looking back, I feel is isolated. And we really haven't moved into a lot of stores. And that was a business decision that, again, I've learned from. I wish that perhaps I had a different perspective on that a long time ago, because the vision really is I want Summer Skin to be accessible for everyone at like everywhere, because it is something that I know can help so many people. So while we are constantly working to expand our product range, I also do have a massive focus at the moment to be front and center for people when they need it. And that is also coming again from our community who are like, I need it now. And I'm like, we're in Adelaide, can't help. That's something that's really, really increased over the last, I'm going to say 6 months. So we've recently actually started doing wholesale, and that's gained very quick momentum, and that's great. I love having that there for everyone to have those retail points, and hopefully in the near future we'll be able to secure a major.
Amazing.
Hopefully.
It sounds like a great vision. I feel like, when you have the vision though, and then it's like you can move towards it. So I think if it's already there,
Yeah.
in your heart, in your mind, it's like it's on its way. And it's
Yeah.
like it's patience. It's like sometimes it's like you don't know when it's going to happen, but you're working towards it.
Yeah, that's exactly how we feel. And I think it's important as well as a small business owner to be okay with visions changing. Because, if you asked me 2 years ago, my vision wouldn't have been to be everywhere and accessible. It just would have had, just direct to consumer online. So that's one thing that I've been like, that's okay. You've changed that. As long as your core brand values remain the same, the vision itself can totally change.
I love that you said that because it is so powerful, because you could get so caught up on something and it not be true or right for the business anymore. Or maybe it was like who you were at that time. Because I think, as we evolve as individuals, our businesses evolve too, and different phases of life, we want different things. And like you're saying, as long as the brand values are intact and, the underlying why we've started something, then I think having that flex and not being so rigid just allows us to grow, because otherwise you can hold on to something and you might actually end up taking the business down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, honestly, exactly that. It's you really need to just be okay with things changing and not hold on to them so tightly, because I definitely am guilty that I used to do that, because you also hear and read things and you're like, I've said I'm going to do this, it has to be like this. That's what business owning is. We are strict and we are there, and I'm like, that did not work for me. I need to be adaptable. So yeah, I'm like, don't believe everything you read either, guys. Just be adaptable.
So good. At least you own it, because I just laugh because it's really, I relate to it, because you can say something at one point and it's like, well, yeah, when I was saying it, that was true.
That was me then. I'm different now.
Totally. And it's not like you're lying or you're changing who you are. It's just you've evolved and now it's something else. So
And I'll never forget, one of my girlfriends was like, so I just talked to you. You told me you were never going to do a tan. I was like, well, I wasn't, but I evolved. I know. I'm like, I really need to stop telling people things until I'm sure.
yeah. Yeah. Awesome. I feel like we've had a really interesting conversation. I think you've dropped all these great little seeds, sticking with the plant analogy. That wasn't intentional, but
It'll be our thing forever now.
yeah, we've got lots of little seeds for our listeners, and then they can take their watering cans and
Throw it everywhere.
Totally. Yeah, exactly right. Cool. Well, we will finish off with the Leaders Lane Sprint. So 4 quick fire questions. Are you ready?
I'm nervous, but I'm ready.
Okay. All right. What's one of the best experiences you've had in life?
Ever. My kids, just birthing my kids is truly undescribable. Yeah.
Beautiful. What and or who brings out your best?
Yeah, God, how boring. My kids, every question. Or, oh, they do, but they also bring out my worst some days too. Do you know, like, obviously my partner and Corey and my kids, like yourself at home, right? But also my sister. Me and my sister are really good friends, and we spend a lot of time together during the week and around work. And I just feel like she always backs me and makes me feel safe and confident. And I think that's truly where you feel you can be the best version of you, is when no idea is stupid or no feeling is not valid. I feel so validated and safe, and I just think that's where you're the best version of yourself. Sorry, and you, Corey, love you if you're listening. But I think that's really special because we just spend so much time also in a work environment together.
That's really beautiful. Very, very moving. And I think it's nice to recognize those special people in our lives as well.
Yeah.
Okay, third question. What would you like to attempt before you die?
Oh gosh. Oh, these meant to be rapid, but you're really getting me on the spot. What would I like to attempt? Like, what is one thing I want to do? Oh God. I really want to take the kids to Japan with Corey. It's just been something I have always wanted to do. I don't know where it's come from or why, but I just see photos and videos on Instagram. It looks so family friendly, and yeah, I want to go to Japan with my family.
I relate because I have a similar thing with Italy, so I can understand why there are some places like you're naturally really drawn to, but you might not really have any reason why. So,
Yeah. I know I'm really, yeah, I need to go there. It's on my heart.
okay, perfect. Well, you need to tick that off.
I know. Find the time.
Yeah. Okay, and my last question for you is what did you enjoy most about our conversation?
I feel like it was very, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Organic. Like, I feel like we spoke about a lot of topics that are sometimes very taboo in business. And that's one thing I have never loved is I'm like, come on, people, can we talk about the elephant in the room, which is, those struggles when you do outsource and burn all your money and then you're back to step one. So that's what I love. I love talking about those unscripted taboo kind of topics.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I love that you were so candid and raw, and I agree. I think when you can come to a group or to another founder or another business owner and not feel like a complete idiot because you're going through something in business, and it's
Mm.
sort of just be like, yeah, that sucks. You're going through this, but here's how I navigated it when I was going through it, or talk to this person because they're really good at that. I think it's just like business can be stressful enough on its
And
own.
lonely, because you feel like, am I really the only one that is dealing with this? And you're seeing all these success stories planted all over your feed. But it's
Mm.
so important to know that they've either been through them already or they're going through them and you will get through. It's just like a resilience thing. But yeah, I'm always like, when I listen to things sometimes, I'm like, yeah, but tell me more. Like, tell me the
Yeah,
gritty stuff. I
yeah.
love I love feeling so supported as well by other business owners when they're like, "Oh yeah, that happened to me, don't worry," or "Yeah, happening right now." Like you said, here's my resources.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, I think that's a lovely note to finish on. And I'm so grateful that we connected. And I will put all of the links in the show notes so our listeners can jump over to check out your brand and order your goodies. And hopefully they'll get in time with that deodorant.
Yes, and like go use natural deodorant, people. Don't make me start my spill on that. No, I'm so grateful that you had me on. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. All right. Thank you again. Take care.
Thank you.